Is it better to save your time or money?
We chose money and a 32-hour flight from London.
Well, let's go back to the start.
So, as we were saying, I'm Sean, and this here is Holly. Oh, a sec. There's Holly. She's on the floor right now because we are currently how many minutes early for the airport?
Our flight's not for another 6 hours.
Another 6 hours, yeah. So here we are, and this is our bags. I've got one little small hand luggage. Holly's got one small hand luggage, and there's two 44 litre bags. Yeah, and that's all we've got with us for 3 months. How excited are you for this trip, Holly?
I'll be happier once I'm there.
Yeah. We'll see you once we've got through security now, I think.
We also need to figure out whether we're moving these bags or they're moving our bags.
What do you mean? Oh yeah,
we're not sure if it's I think it is a self-transfer.
I hope it's a self-transfer. No, I don't think it's self-transfer. I think it's a automatic transfer.
You would hope it was a self-transfer. I would rather physically put my own bag back.
But then we'd have to check out to go get our bags.
We don't check out of an airport, Sean.
Well, you have to go through security to get your bag.
Flight.
To get your bags, you have to go through and then back in. So I think it is. We don't know, as you know. You can tell. Look, me and Holly.
We've got 10 hours in the airport to find out. So
yeah. So we checked in and got through security. Check-in was quite fun, wasn't it, Holly?
Sean wouldn't listen to anyone that his laptop needed to be on the plane.
Yeah. So I went online and said, can you put your laptop in the hold? And I was like, apparently you can, or the internet says you can, their website says you can. The woman before checking in said, no, you can't. And that was quite fun, wasn't it, Holly? So now I've got my laptop at my feet, my carry-on bag.
Which is more precious about getting kicked than me.
Yep, and I've now got to be careful that the laptop lets us through, because we've now got 2 small bags and I don't know if you're allowed it. And it's quite stressful, but we've sat down and we've headed to...
At this point you're putting it up your back and putting your hoodie on and carrying it on the plane that way.
Not dodgy at all.
Strapping it to your body. Or just buy luggage bags. luggage
Yeah, just the rainbow ones and everything.
Belts. And we'll just put you like Deadpool. Deadpool.
Anyway, we're in Lyon. Holly's just munching down on a wrap, and I've rudely put the camera on and made her speak while she's eating, but I think it's just an easier time to do it. I went and got some arancini balls, which...
Sean got rice and rice.
Rice.
Good job,
with some more rice. And
it's not like you're going to be eating that for the next 3 months.
Wow, call me out like that.
It's true.
Probably get that on the plane as well. Yeah, so it's good. We've got now... What, another couple of hours?
It's 5:45, our flight's not until 8:25.
And as we were now on hour 3, is it?
What?
Hour 3 since start of travel.
Yeah.
About hour 3. But...
4? Nearly 4.
Yeah, Holly's pointed out that it's, as much as we're travelling for 32 hours, we've been awake so far.
Since about 7:45 this morning.
Yeah, and it's already hot and we're already tired.
That's spicy, whatever that is.
Anyway, we'll talk to you next, probably on the plane, or might not speak to you on the plane, might give you a couple of clips of the plane. I'll speak to you when we get to the next airport. Oh, by the way, our bags are transferred.
Yeah, we don't have to do it.
We don't have to do anything, so that's good. That's one thing we don't have to worry about. Anyway, I'm going to go because I'm ruining Holly's meal.
Yep.
Hi guys, we've made this to China. Yes, this is the Chinese airport, but it's also not. We are in a hourly hotel room.
Yes.
We booked 5 hours, and the reason why we haven't spoke to you yet is because we were so exhausted after that flight.
Yeah.
It was kind of a bit pointless to talk to you. You'd have got, So we've had like 3 to 4 hours sleep, and this is our hotel room. It's the standard double in the just hourly, what's it called?
BCAT.
BCAT. And it comes with a sink. There's a shower just outside the room, and there's also toilet, a lounge.
And snacks and cans of juice and everything are included in the price.
And it was about 84 English pounds.
Yeah, depending on the one that day.
Also, all prices are on the screen right now for this. Another thing was going to talk to you about Chinese airport was the fact that I'm not going to film too much around it because I don't feel too comfortable filming here.
You're already being filmed. You're already being filmed.
Yeah, it's very open here. Not a lot of people around.
Yeah.
And the shops are very expensive, but I might do a little bit of camera work on my phone because that's less.
Yeah, and it's more.
And I'll add it to what we're talking about right now. But yeah.
So this is a couple of days later, and let's talk about that first flight.
First flight was a nice flight, in hindsight.
In hindsight, but it was so rough to begin with, though.
So loud.
So it sounded like. Don't know, sounded like a jet engine.
It sounded like you were inside a Hoover.
It did the whole flight, and we're like, oh, it's just going to be during takeoff. No, it was the whole way there. So I sat down. We had this nice girl next to us, probably around our age, to be fair, and
it turns out she's Czech and from a small town that we've been to.
Yeah,
small world.
And she was really nice. I sat in the middle seat. You sat on the end seat.
Yep.
And as I sat down, we're all testing everything, going, oh, look at the screen. My screen didn't work.
Mine didn't work.
And we're like, oh, great. And then we're like, oh, headphones. And her headphones would only work in one side. Mine weren't attached to the
Sean should lift the actual plastic cover off of his armrest.
At one point, I lifted it up and went, I shouldn't be doing that. Put it back. And then the announcement came over saying, any tampering with any equipment.
From an announcement from the Republic, the People's Republic of China's government, if you're causing any harm or to the staff or to the aircraft, you're getting to the jail.
Yeah, detained. And we're like, no one saw that. Put it back.
Not in China. Mine's worked fine.
The food itself was really nice. This is some of the food we had. I took some clips of the food, some pictures. There you go. It was really nice.
It was funny because we all had like a discussion amongst ourselves, all three of us. Us and this random girl that we ended up chatting with. We were trying to guess what, because it was a Chinese airline we flew with. Yeah. What was the Western meal and what was the Chinese meal? The entire time. We
literally all had the same meal. We all had the Kung Pao
chicken, yeah.
Which was really nice. And then we had a Western breakfast.
It was like a cheesy omelette and something, wasn't it? Yeah.
Bacon and sausage. Yeah. It was good, yeah. It was really good. Food was good, and it wasn't actually too bad. It was very long. But when we got off it, as you see in the video after, we just woke up after that. But we were walking around like zombies looking for this hotel.
It didn't help that the airport that we were in was like something out of an apocalypse.
Yeah, so we got off the plane, and then you had to go back through security, and it's like, no liquids. And we're like,
no alcohol hand sanitizer? Oh, mad.
No more than 2 batteries. I'm like, well, I'm screwed. I've got 6 camera batteries. I've got microphones.
And you had your power bank.
Luckily, we got it all through, but I was like, no more than this. I'm like, And as we went through, it was just chaos. It was...
That part... When you're first off the flight in Beijing Airport, Capital Airport we flew into.
Yeah.
That's what I expected the entire airport to be like. Personally, when I think of China, I think of overpopulation and like crazy busy and always on the go. And this airport was the polar opposite of that. It was empty.
Yeah, we started getting walked through this airport, and
it was massive.
It was.
It was massive, but there was no one in it.
We walked from one end to the other end, and then you somehow loop round yourself. You're like, how did we end up back at the start?
We probably walked the same way, but because we were so sleep deprived, we thought it looked different. It probably wasn't.
So after a 10-hour flight and a 10-hour layover, we went on the second flight.
Which we got on, and we were like, okay, we have a small woman beside us. Brilliant. More room.
She didn't talk to us this time. She was very quiet in comparison to the other woman that kind of got involved in a lot of our conversations. Yeah. But
she was a solo traveller. She wanted some like communication. Fair enough, you're on a flight for 10 hours, you may as well get to know the people sat beside you.
Yeah.
But we're like, brilliant, we got on this, the screens worked, it was a newer plane, it was quieter, it was cleaner, there was more legroom under the seats in front of us. I had a small woman in front of me as well, so I was like, probably not going to recline.
But there was one problem with this flight, because the flight before, I was like, all right, so we had food here. We kind of didn't really think about getting food at the airport. And but they first came around with a sandwich.
Yeah.
It was a chicken sandwich and a tuna sandwich, but it was like half of one, half of the other. And you're like, wow, that's...
I'm eating half a sandwich.
Yeah, we didn't eat the tuna, both of us. We were like, such that tuna sandwich. And it wasn't very filling, the whole tray. And I was like, oh, wow, okay. At least there'll be some more food later. And then we waited till near the end of the flight for breakfast. No, sorry. There was
8 hours in between the meals.
And it was lunch again.
Yeah.
And it was, what was it at that time?
Spicy chicken or like a ground pork.
And it wasn't bad.
No, it was, the hot meals were tasty, to be fair. Plain food.
Yeah, it was good, but again, so hungry by the end of it. But we got it through and we finally made it to Melbourne. Melbourne was quite a simple airport to work out how to get out of, wasn't it?
Considering we've been awake for 43 hours, I think.
With like 5 hours odd sleep in between.
If that.
If that.
And you're not sleeping well when you're on a plane or waiting on a flight. You're just not. We didn't talk about the worst part of the entire second flight.
What's that?
For the last 2 hours flying over Australia, we had some serious turbulence.
Oh, yes.
Now, turbulence, no one enjoys it at the best of times, but turbulence after meal service on a plane with someone who has emetophobia was not fun at all. And to make matters worse, you're already anxious, you're already like, this is a horrible situation that I am in. The flight crew then proceed to announce every 5 minutes for 2 hours, first in Chinese and then in English, that there's turbulence.
And then it like...
We know there's turbulence.
And then 2 seconds later, like, the Chinese would come back on. Like,
it was like a constant loop for 2 hours of there's turbulence, can you please be in your seats? But this entire, the entirety of that time when all that's going on, there's a lady in front of us with an infant who's on the floor asleep.
And during takeoff, he was standing on the chair. It was chaos. Like, as much as the flight was good, it was also chaos.
Yeah, I just became very aware that people don't listen. It doesn't matter where you are in the world, they don't listen.
So as much as we did save a lot of money, we did pay an extra £80 for our room, but would you travel like this again, or would you pay a little bit more and go direct? Or shorter layover? What would you do?
A shorter layover. I don't think a layover is bad. I don't think I could personally be on a flight for 19 hours.
Yeah.
And like, to sit in that seat for 12 hours, being 5'10" tall, and you're 6'1", to sit in that position for nearly a day, I don't think I could do it.
Yeah.
I would choose like a 6 hour layover. If I had it in an ideal world, it'd be a 10-hour flight, 6 hour layover, 12-hour flight.
So,
or 5 or 4 5-hour flights.
If you've watched this video and you're going from UK to Australia, or you're going to somewhere to Australia, or you're going on a long trip, and you want to know if China airport is good or Melbourne's airport is good, then don't worry, because I'm going to have TikToks on this channel and shorts, so make sure you check those out. And if you want to keep following us, we're currently in Melbourne, and there's a video on that in the next couple of days. So I'll see you again soon.
Can you even do that?
Soon.